Good evening, World Wide Web. This is James. Welcome back to my stock channel with another update video on Mullen Automotive. Down 12% today, sitting at 23 cents. They just got done, sending a letter to all the shareholders, letting them know about the dilution and explaining some future plans for the company. It includes some good news, starting production on commercial vehicles, third quarter of 2023. And guess what's right around the corner? Third quarter of 2023. I'm hoping they're assembling some vehicles. They have a purchase order for $239 million for these vehicles. They have $143 million in cash. Let's hope that amount of cash can fill the order. And I guess that's what we're hoping for. And just in case it doesn't, Mullen has another plan of reverse stock splitting followed by a dilution, followed by a not tell anyone about it, followed by sell into it. So here comes another round of pain, but we're going to have a company here shortly, guys. We're not going to have to wait till 2026. We're looking at 2024. We're looking at some money coming in. They're taking deposits on cars. They have a purchase order for a pretty big one, $239 million for commercial vehicles, and they are starting production right away. They already got their facility. So they're just literally months from putting these things together. Well, let's hope everything goes smoothly. Let's hope these people are efficient and cost conscious. And let's hope they can turn this first deal at a profit, because having some money is going to be very important for them going into the future. Just 7 hours ago, Mullen stock now preps for reverse stock split of 100 to 1. So they're doing it again. I asked the question in the last video, can they just do a reverse stock split, jack it up, and then dilute it again, and then sell into it until it crashes down, and then reverse stock split? Apparently they can do this more than once in a row. I don't know if they're going to get approved to do it again. I don't think at some point it becomes too much of a Ponzi, possibly. I'm not sure how many rounds of this they would be allowed to do. The 100 for 1 reverse stock split, some people would explain it, it's like having $100 bills, a one $100 bill versus $101 bills. Therefore it's the same thing. But every time they can get the price elevated, they can do a dilution, not tell the stockholder, sell however many they diluted and raise some cash. And then when the market eats it, the stockholder eats it, they can then do another reverse stock split. So apparently that's part of the plan. I don't know whether you strategically want to get in now, or you want to wait for another 100 to 1 and then wait for them to dilute it again and sell into it again, and then go ahead and buy this stock. I think buying it right now might be risky. Maybe you want to wait until they do this one more time, if they can get away with it. Maybe grab a few shares now, but get ready to grab a few shares, not after the reverse stock split, but after the dilution, after this reverse stock split. They're doing this for a reason. They're just trying to get this up over a quarter. They're trying to get it to, $25, I guess is where it's going to go at 100 to 1, $23 a share. And then they can dilute it on a Monday, not tell anybody until Thursday after they've been selling into it strongly. They're going to do this at least one more time, just a warning for everybody. They do have production kicking started. It looks like they have cash to get this production to the finish line, and that's going to bring in the revenue to get this company started. And they're going to follow up in 2025 and 2024 with more vehicles coming off the line. But hopefully this commercial line will start and continue. Let's hope for the best. But they are going to pound the stockholders some more, like we discussed. You just got to take it. And I'd say scoop up more shares, but they keep reverse splitting and then diluting, and then it just crashes again. So I don't really know what the smartest play for this thing is. If you're playing Well, I don't know if you short a dilution, short before a dilution, I guess you win on that. So if you can read into the tea leaves that they're going to do the reverse stock split, and you can take a wild guess that they're going to do a dilution, you could actually short this thing and probably make some money while they do that. Um, yeah, if it goes to $23, immediately short it because you know it's coming next, dilution, and then take all your winnings and buy a bunch of Mullen stock. That might be a good idea. They're going to be doing it to you one more time. You know what? I like it. It's fine. Um, it costs a lot to start these car companies. They need to get the job done. Whatever they can do to raise the money. If they want to take it out on the stockholder, that's fine. If they end up with 1 billion shares in the end or 500 million, that's fine too. Let's get this sucker cooking. Let's get the assembly line going. Let's get the profit coming in. Let's get the cars rolling out. Let's meet that end goal. We don't want them going out and getting a loan. We don't want them borrowing money. We don't need more debt. How are we doing on debt? Let's take a quick look. That's our income statement, balance sheet. They look pretty damn good on this debt thing. I got $400 million worth of stuff. I guess that's the new facilities. Plus, it could be all the car parts for the commercial vehicles. Maybe they've already acquired a mass majority of what they're going to need and use. Well, let's hope so. And this is looking very good. They paid off from 420 million in liabilities down to 139 million. So they paid off just about everybody. And I guess we really don't want them to borrow more. We want them to beat us up instead. If they borrow more, that's their death ticket. This right here gives them life. This makes their operating costs much, much lower. And that's just quarter over quarter. So that drops the operating cost. It causes the business to be able to live longer. Their cost to keep the doors open is better. We don't want them borrowing money. We want them taking it from the stockholder, even though that's us, and even though it does suck. It's a good thing because this company's turnaround can be much, much quicker. I don't know what round of dilution you buy it on. There's going to be number 2 here. I don't think the SEC is going to let them do this one, but they might not be able to do number 3. At some point, somebody's going to step in and say, no, you can't do that again. This is from Investor Place. Let's see what it says. So it's probably just going to try to sell me something. Mullen stock underwent a 1 for 25 reverse split in May. You know that. Yep, here we go, trying to sell me stuff. Let me know if I can get this article for you. The article was updated June 16th. The correct sentence: Mullen has increased its maximum proposed reverse split ratio to 1 for 100 from 1 for 10. So they were going to do a 1 for 10, but they decided to do a 1 for 100. And a reverse split above 1 for 9 could run into problems with NASDAQ compliance rules. Yeah. I don't know if they can play this game over and over again. Apparently they're got an angle with NASDAQ, or they think they can get it done. They might get shot down on it. If they get shot down on it, they're going to have to go back into debt again to get these cars finished. I'd rather them stay out of debt. On June 13th, Mullen released a proxy statements for its annual meeting of stockholders. The filing proposal 3 sought approval for reverse stock split ratio of 1 for 2 and 1 for 10. And now they're up for 1 for 100, I guess, or reverse 100. The price of Mullen stock gradually needs to breach the $1 threshold in consecutive trading days in order to comply with NASDAQ's continued listing standards. Mullen has accomplished this, yet still remains on NASDAQ's non-compliant. Are we really worried about NASDAQ? I mean, it's nice, but over-the-counter would seem fine also. NASDAQ's going to want them back once their price is right. Mullen increases maximum proposed reverse split of 1 for 100. Yeah, they're going to do it again, or they're going to sure as hell try. I got a feeling reading between the tea leaves that NASDAQ is going to have more of a problem with multiple reverse stock splits and I don't know if the SEC is going to let this fly either. It sounds like something that I've never heard before. I mean, I've heard of everything, but not doing it intentionally in a cycle like this. I mean, how many times can you do this? And what do you really have afterwards? You buy 100 shares, it just turned into 25 that were worth more, and then they diluted a whole bunch, and you still just got 25. And you're going to take your 25, they're going to turn it into 2.5, and then the price is going to go way up, and then they're going to dilute it again, and it's going to come back down, and then and you only got 2.5 shares. Buy more Mullen, or get ready to buy more Mullen after this shenanigan thing is done. That might be the best time to get in, is after the next dilution. You have to pick the last dilution. That's going to be your best get in. The last time they reverse split and dilute, if they're amazingly can pull off the reverse split, don't buy on it. Get ready for a dilution and buy after that happens, and then cross your fingers and hope that was the last one. I wouldn't buy it yet. I'd wait till this plan forms out. If you already own it, I don't know what you paid for it or how much where you're at right now today. I guess you'll have to look at your own situation, but it seems like it's going to get worse before it gets better one more time. So I don't know. If you're losing 80% of your money every round of this, I don't know how many times you can take that. So you got to pick the right round, and yeah, you're just going to have to hope that this is the last one. But maybe now we can read between the tea leaves a little bit more, since they're trying to repeat history, obviously. We know why they're doing the reverse stock split, so that they have something they can sell into. It has nothing to do with NASDAQ compliance. They could get about keeping it over $1 a share for two consecutive days. They could give a crap about that, and they've been so far out of NASDAQ compliance for most of the last year. Now all of a sudden they care about it? No. They were doing the reverse split so they can do a dilution so they can sell into it. So pick your timing carefully. I know that everybody wants a piece of this Mullen Automotive, but you want to get the best timing on the final piece of the dilution. Whoever gets in right there is probably going to be the winner. Whoever gets in after it gets beat up after a dilution, after their final reverse stock split. If they can pull off 2 in a row, wow. If they can, and then the odds of them being able to do it 3 in a row become real long shotty. I don't think they could justify that to anyone. But if they do it one more time, they'll certainly have enough runway and have enough money to get these commercial vehicles finished. And maybe by the end of the year, we'll start seeing some revenue and they can start delivering some vehicles. Probably come January, February, March, we'll probably see some vehicles going out the door. That would be wonderful. And right now, I would just recommend kind of stagnating on this one for a little while. Get your money together. This thing is going to go to $23 possibly. And then without telling you, it's going to come back down to 20 cents. They're going to whack it again. They're going to raise as much as they can. And after that, they start delivering vehicles. They start showing revenue. Your 5 cents that you just bought a ton of, your 5 cents turns into 10, into 20, into 50, into 100, and then $1, and then maybe we're off to the races then. We're shipping vehicles, we're bringing in cash, we're bringing in profit. We don't have to go into debt, but they are going to beat up the stockholders, and I wouldn't even know what to do right now. I would probably sell it 20. Well, if they can't get away with this dilution, I guess you don't want to sell it. So if they can't do the 100-to-1 reverse split, they're not going to be able to do the dilution. They're going to have to find some other way to make money. In that case, you want to stay locked in here. You don't want to give up your position. But if they do this, you're going to get hurt by it. And then, yeah, it's going to be a dilution right after the reversal. probably within a couple of months, probably whenever they feel like it, whenever they start running out of money. With 148 million, maybe this will be their last insurance policy. They announced in May, it's June, so it took them a month, maybe 2 months to complete the reverse stock split / dilution on us last time. So I figure a couple months for that, and maybe we'll be by the end of the year then. Maybe they can start delivering some vehicles. That'd be fantastic. Mullen Automotive stock collapses, halted at 20 cents. Is this the bottom? Today's news would say no. This is not the bottom yet. It's going to go way up on a reverse, and then it's going to get diluted again. They're doing this only to get more money, not because they want it to be over $1. 4 to 1 would get it to $1. They'd be compliant. They're asking for 100 to 1. I don't know if they're going to get it. If they don't get it, they're going to have to find money some other way. They have enough assets where they could get some money other ways. They have 400 million in assets. They have 139 million in liabilities. These people can go get 200 million on a credit card right now if they want to. I know they just got done paying it off. But the money for these commercial vehicles, I'd say it's a lock at this point. They have the credit, and they also have the ability to try to get the stockholder to pay for it with these reverse craziness. Anyhow, that's my video on Mullen Automotive. I still like it. I think we just saw the finish line. I think either the credit will be the final straw that broke the camel's back, or this reverse stock split dilution will be the last monies that they need. I don't think they're going to need more money after that. If they could take this thing up to $25 and start plowing into it without telling anyone, they could get a couple of 100 million or 100 million. Who knows? Who knows what they could get? Quite a bit, probably. They're like, yeah, well, last time we did whatever, and we'll do this one 10 to 100 to 1 instead. So they're just going to go a lot bigger with it this time. But maybe hold for a little while and then grab it, or stick with it and grab some more. It's not going to cost you much, but I wouldn't buy it after the reverse. I would wait for the dilution because I think it's inevitable. Just give it 2 months, 3 months, sometime while they're building these cars. They start running low on money. They'll dilute it, and then they just do that to you again. So I don't know what you get in. Leave your comments in the strategies below. What's the best way for us to take advantage of what I think is obviously coming? How do you take advantage of this? I hate shorting Mullen, but if they're advertising a reverse stock split / dilution so predictably, it's almost tempting. You let them pay, let the stock market pay for you to buy you more shares of this thing. Take it from 25 down to 5 cents, and then get out, and then take all of your winnings and buy a bunch of shares for 5 cents. Or just, yeah, that's what you do. You let Mullen pay for Mullen. And I think that's a good idea. Play the market, play it right. So read the tea leaves, see the future. Cash coming soon, production happening third quarter of 2023. More of it in 2024, 25, 26, more vehicles rolling off. Probably get a new one rolling off every year, every 6 months probably, very shortly. They bought the factory, they got the equipment, everything's in place. They're doing it, folks. They got 200 million in credit. Even if these shenanigans don't work, they're going to build this car. They're going to deliver this car. This is going to happen. I think this is really good news. And I would go tell you to buy on this news, except I'm so scared of this reverse stock split / dilution happening again. So tread lightly and get ready for this to be the last bunch of nonsense that you'll have to take a pounding on before this thing turns around and turns into a producer. $239 million car purchase order from North Carolina for the commercial vehicles. If that costs them, $140 million to make those vehicles, they can make $100 million on it. Hopefully they'll start being able to make money making cars. That would be a joy. And commercial vehicles are are good money in those. Definitely good margin. That's probably why they started there. Um, well, let's hope that purchase order goes through. Let's hope it happens. Let's hope we can see some vehicles coming off the line soon. Third quarter, I believe, is going to start after June. We're going to be in the third quarter. So July, third quarter starts. I expect to see some commercial vehicles coming out of their lineup. Yeah, so get ready. Sometimes it's good to put some cash aside. I know you want to invest in Mullen, but just put it in your trading account and let it sit and wait. Wait for some Mullen, and then throw it into Mullen after they do their next dilution. If you think they're going to need one, if you don't think they're going to need one, then don't do that, obviously. But at 5 cents or 20 cents each, you can obviously buy a ton of these things. And if they ever hit 100 or 200 bucks, you'd be thrilled that you bought every one of them. And if that's where it's going, that's where it's going. They're going to have a car. They're going to have the commercial vehicles. They're going to have the rocket ship, GTRS. I believe all that stuff's going to come true at this point. They've got enough credit and enough willpower to thump the shareholder out of this and get it done. And I'm glad they're doing it that way. I know it sounds weird and wacky, and it's probably pissing everybody off, but they need to put together these things and get them done and have some insurance that they're done. And I think they're just getting their insurance that they're going to get it done. This is going to be the last round of it. If it happens, they're going to sure try. But if it happens, it'll be the last round of it. As soon as you hear the reverse split, that'll be your cue. Probably you got a month or two before they will decide to start doing that. They have $140-something million right now, so they should be able to go for a while. And they might not need to dilute it again. They might pull a head fake on everybody and say, oh, it's 23, and a bunch of people will short it. Next thing you know, they start producing cars, and those people have to bail out. So I don't know. It's going all over the place, guys. Buy some Mullen. Put some cash on the side. I know you can't afford to get beat up by 80% all the time, but get ready to get in if there is another dilution to be able to buy a couple thousand more shares. You want to make a few $1 million off of this one. You're probably going to need some shares, and you want to get them as cheap as possible. And if they keep jacking them up and chopping you down, it's just taking all of your money that you put in and taking it almost back to zero. So I know how you feel. So cash and Mullen, be buying both of those, be investing and putting both of those in the hole, and probably more cash than Mullen at this point. I would get ready for another one, but also be ready in case there's not another one. So you buy 100 shares of this, cost you what, $23, and that's going to turn into 1 share of Mullen. Then they're going to dilute that again, or they might not dilute it, but either way, it's going to be very interesting to watch. Cover your angles. Realize that they might beat you up a second time here or a third time, but I don't think they can do this over and over again. Please leave in the comments if anyone's ever heard of this technique. I mean, I know it's been done, but can you just do it over and over again to infinity? It sure kind of seems like you can, but eventually I think someone's going to say, yeah, you can't do that over and over again in this kind of a fashion, because it's just a money-making, you could just do it forever, take it down to 5 cents, reverse split it, dilute it, cash out, tell everyone 5 cents, dilute it, split it, the same. You could just go in this. I mean, why build cars? You could just do that for a living. They have the cars, they have the production line. Obviously, they're building cars. Don't worry about it. Get ready to buy more, though, because it looks like this 23 cents is going to go to 23 bucks, and then it very well may come right back down to 23 cents again. So, yeah, be ready. And get as much as you can on that final round. That's going to be the key. Those are going to be the ones that are the most valuable, the ones that don't need to get diluted anymore. And when you have a company, you're right at the genesis of the company, when they don't have to go into debt, when they don't have to dilute and do crazy stuff like that to stay afloat. So third quarter, guys, I say cash by first quarter of 2024. They start getting paid for those first vehicles rolling off the line, and hopefully they won't have to do anything again. And I'd hope they would use a little credit before they did. Do it a third time. I don't think there will be a third time, though. It looks like they think there's going to be a second, so watch out for that one. Catch you on the next video. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Go Mullen Automotive. Let's see these commercial vehicles. I'm excited. Yeah, it's happening. Don't kid yourself. It's just, what price are you going to be in at, and how many shares are you going to have after they're done with all this wrangling. But the wrangling is going to come to a close probably pretty darn soon as the cash starts coming in. Have a wonderful day. See you on the next video. Please like the video and subscribe. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you.